dude. Holy
Holy what happened?
No, stop.
We're sinking.
Stop. What is going on right now?
Sal, get out. We're gonna sink.
Holy
Jesus Christ.
Can I curse?
Yes.
Are you f***ing kidding me right now? What is this? What is this? Are we in any danger?
We're not in danger.
I was like, clearly you're gonna like skid out in the dirt and we're gonna get out and high five and then get on the boat. If you were getting closer to the water, I'm like, did you have a stroke?
That was amazing. I would probably also freak out if that happened
Absolutely.
to me.
WWE living legend Stone Cold Steve Austin is hosting a new show called Straight Up Steve Austin. Not like any other show that you've seen. In each episode, Austin and a celebrity guest exchange life stories. They go on these unique adventures. Maybe some pranks are in there, like
really
you just saw.
Fun. And Steve joins us live now. Thanks for joining us.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, so good to meet you, man.
Yeah, this show is so cool. How did it come about? What was the inspiration behind it?
Well, I mean, I would like to take credit for the idea that it was mine, but USA Network, I guess, based on the fact that I've hosted a bunch of other shows and I've been doing a podcast for some years, and the entertainment world that I came from, WWE, said, hey, this might be up Steve's alley. So we got all together in the room and we came up with some ideas, and it was a collaboration of many different people, and came up with Straight Up Steve Austin. And the name actually came from the fact that when I'm talking to someone, if they're really full of, come on, man, straight up. and that's how the name was born. But yeah, they pitched me the show, and so we've had a lot of fun with it. And it's kind of in that first season, you kind of grow, you learn a lot of things. There's so much going on, but we had an absolute blast filming this.
Well, I think that fans, you obviously have this huge fan base. Fans are really excited to see you in kind of a different feel, right? Yes. You kind of get to know you and the amazing guests you've had. You've had Trace Atkins, Dale Earnhardt Jr., WWE star, many have come through, right? So as you're doing this on the show, what's the selection process?
Well, as you get together, there's many things that are going on. So I've got my dream list, and of course the network, USA Network, who I'm so thankful for giving me this opportunity. Obviously, they have some names that they want to do too.
Here's
so
some people we like,
scheduling, availability, all that stuff comes into play. So it's really, give and take and come up with a list, and that's what we did.
Yeah.
And I loved every episode. And each episode, depending on the personality that I'm dealing with, feels a little bit different. The activities are different in each one. So it's so much fun because either I'm taking them out of their world, or they're getting into my world, or I'm getting into their world with them. It's just, it's a lot of fun.
And you get to tailor these activities for the stars, which I love. So let's take a look at probably one of the best stunts on the show. Watch.
The Marine Corps, crush, kill, destroy. That's one of the things we do, so this will be good.
All right, Rob, we're here to crush, kill, and destroy. Let's do it. Steve, fired up.
Yes, sir.
He's ready to
What
go.
would the Marines say? What's that, hoo-ah? What is it?
Well, that's Army, hoo-ah. We go, ooh-rah, ooh-rah.
What's up with that?
That's just a battle cry, devil dog bark.
Devil dog bark. I'm learning all kinds of cool stuff. Devil dog bark. Let's do it. There we go.
Wow. So Rob Riggle is your guest star for this one. How great was this? I mean, talk us through this stunt.
Well, it was really cool, first of all, to hang out with someone who used to serve as a U.S. Marine for us. And then, he went back got called back into duty when 9/11 happened. And so to hang out with a guy like that, and because he came from the Marines, we were able to borrow some of the activities that they would,
Makes sense,
equipment like that. And I get a chance to live vicariously and do stuff like that. And when you wake up and, all of a sudden you're crushing cars
Like
with Rob Riggle, and he's funny as hell anyway.
Yeah.
So it was a good day at the office, and an active day in the office.
Sure was. I can't imagine something I would rather do. I mean, that would be so much fun to do. Just ride around the tank, if nothing else. Aside from that, what's the wildest sort of stunt or sort of adventure you went on for the show?
Well, I mean, that first thing you saw was Sal. I mean, because he wasn't expecting that.
When you went into the water.
Yes, and that was, we'll give it up right now, but you've already seen it. But when I'm wheeling him around, and based on the show that they're on, Impractical
Jokers,
it's one of the hottest
show,
shows that there is. So to be able to pull one on Sal and rib him like that was premier.
And he seemed genuinely surprised.
He was, and you know what it turns out is I'm such a fan of theirs and his, and he's such a wrestling fan from my days. I got a chance to spend a little bit of time in the ring with him, so he was like a kid in a candy store, and so was I, because his enthusiasm is contagious, and we really bonded, and the chemistry was really there. So
that's
it was
cool.
So much fun.
You can tell,
Yeah, and the cool thing about this show, though, is you do these crazy, wild stunts, but then there's also these really personal conversations you have. What was one of the more touching stories that you encountered on this?
Well, it was interesting, and kind of talking into Dale Earnhardt Jr. And when he kind of rode off into the sunset, and he realized that his career as a NASCAR driver, one of the most beloved drivers in the history of NASCAR, was coming to an end because he couldn't be that guy that he couldn't drive in fear. I remember being in races, and I would meet Dale before the races, and if I was starting a race or whatever, and man, I'd see him driving way in the back of the pack, and I'm like, man, what's wrong with Dale? I said, he's Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's supposed to be leading.
Right.
And there was a reason behind that, and so we get into that. And so there's heartfelt conversations, there's in-depth conversations, but there's a lot of fun and shenanigans along the way. So it's kind of a combination of a lot of things. But yeah, we do try to get some good stuff out of some people.
Yeah, well, I love that too. It makes you even better for a show like this because you're this huge personality and this huge persona, but you also know what it means to work hard and to accomplish things and to overcome obstacles and hurdles.
Man, I believe in hard work. Absolutely, that's the way we were brought up. And this show, and through my podcast from back in the day, many people, when I walked into a meeting in Beverly Hills or Hollywood, they thought, hey, Stone Cold Steve Austin's here. I'm going to be crushing beers. I'm mad.
Slinging them around the office.
I actually have a sense of humor.
Right.
I can be a pretty nice guy. So I get a chance to show a different side of myself that I love to be every single day.
Yeah.
It's fun to go back to work every now and then.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is me.
I'm sure you can tell a difference when you're around someone that's a real fan or someone that's putting it on. Who was the biggest fan of wrestling that you thought would genuinely loved it? You mentioned Sal there. Maybe he was.
Well, Sal was on the list, but see, I've known Gabriel Iglesias for a long time. He's come to my house a couple times to do my podcast, and he's probably the hardest turned comedian out there. 46 weeks out of 52. Huge
Incredible.
fan.
Yeah.
I'm in his act. Because of some of the shenanigans he pulled at my house. So he was in from the get-go, and we had a lot of fun because we both share a love of automobiles, and we both like to laugh. So it's hard to interview Fluffy because he makes you laugh so much. You can't do a proper interview.
Yeah.
So I did the best I could with him.
Yeah, that's funny.
One of the things we do love about you, you're talking before, the beer bash. Everyone knows it from WWE, so you brought it to this show as well.
There we go. There's
Let's take a
moments.
look at this clip.
You ready for a beer bash?
Never been more ready.
Let's do it.
Oh, man. I've made it. I made it. I know I've made it right now.
Cheers, Sal.
Cheers.
Wow. So whose idea was it to bring the beer bash from WWE to the show?
Well, that's actually at Us Gunna Brewing Company, where I brew my beer with them, Broken Skull IPA, and we just got finished, hanging out all day, and so it seemed only fitting that we end up doing something. I'm putting him in my world, brought him all the way from the East Coast to the West Coast, and we ended up there. And here's the thing, it's a half-hour show, but it takes 12 hours to film. So when I'm hanging out with these people, I really get a chance to know who and what they're all
Beyond
about.
surface.
Yeah.
For sure.
And Sal used to be in the bar business because he owned a bar for 2 years, and then they got so successful, he had to sell it and get on the road and do what they do.
I love that you got the beer.
How fast do you shotgun a beer? I just did that for the first time in my life this weekend.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
how was it?
I was great. I was really good at it.
My whole method is people get mad at me and say, hey man, you're wasting too much beer, but they got to understand, I'm playing in 20,000 seat arenas when I do it. So, a lot of it goes on. That's for people way back there.
Yeah,
I do love that people are concerned about the amount of beer that's fun. You're not even drinking it.
The amount, the stuff that goes in, that's for me. The stuff that goes on, that's for them.
There you
Yeah.
go. Makes sense.
By the time you shotgun, 24 some odd beers, you get a pretty good buzz by the time it's over.
Yeah, you're good to go. Hey, you've been a part of WWE wrestling 25 years or so. You've got this incredible career that's continuing. But when you look back over those years, what's your maybe proudest or favorite moment, if you could narrow it down?
Proudest moment would have been, when I went to WrestleMania 13 with Bret the Hitman Hart, and I went in as a bad guy. He went in as a good guy. During the course of the match, we switched positions. I ended up as a good guy. He ended up as a bad guy. It's called a double turn. Almost impossible to pull off. The crowd was in there, hook, line, and sinker. And then going to the electricity that was myself and The Rock, who's the biggest movie star in the world right now, and WrestleMania 13 with what was at that time an Astrodome sellout record of 68,000 and change.
Incredible.
So just the electricity of that match, but those would be two high points. And anytime I got a chance to feud with Vince McMahon, because that feud, me, anti-authority against the boss, transcended the business. And if you were not a fan, that was water cooler talk, and you became a fan.
Yeah, people got in with that for sure.
And last month, Monday Night Raw had this reunion, brought back you, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair. Who were you most excited to see? What was that event like?
Everybody, and because it was like, it truly was a family reunion. And walking down and seeing all the guys, I was going back down to have a drink with Ric Flair, and the elevator stopped, and there's Ron Simmons. And Ron is like a beast of a guy, so it's like hugging a refrigerator. You can imagine seeing these two grown men just hugging for 30 seconds with this giddy laugh.
Yeah,
We're so
right.
happy to see each other.
Yeah.
So really seeing everybody, and then like seeing some of the younger superstars, whether it's the guys or the gals, and like, hey man, think about this, or try this. And dropping some 411 and some advice and tips,
Yeah.
and trying to pass the
Seeing
knowledge
them as
along.
fans even. How's Ric Flair?
Oh man, he's great. Now,
He's been through a lot.
He's been through a lot, as of late. But man, he's on the mend, and the guy is living life as full as he can. And so I love the guy. He's the greatest of all time. He's the greatest to ever lace up a pair of boots. And to answer your question, he's doing just fine.
Good. Are you ready for a People Now arm wrestling challenge? I don't know if you faced a lot in the ring. I don't know if you've faced what's about to happen here.
Oh.
Okay, so we're gonna take you on in an arm
Let me
wrestling
move this out.
match. Okay, I'll go first.
Okay.
Look, I actually have pretty.
Literally
Oh,
taking us
you're-
on, yeah.
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 Here we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, should we move? Let me move out of the way for this. You ready?
Okay.
Okay, hold on a second, guys.
Are you standing up?
Here we go. We got Stone
Oh,
Cold
you
Steve
got
Austin. We got Andrea
technique.
Boehlke over here. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Okay.
I can tell this is a
you gonna do
legitimate.
that? Yeah,
Andrea
you're
has a
strong.
chance. It could. Oh, overhead shot. It's looking like there's a face-off here. She's holding her own. Can
Okay,
Stone Cold?
Give me the full. Give me the full.
Can she withstand? She's taking him down the double arm and
Okay, he obviously. Jeremy.
You're great. Now here's the real challenge. You ready for this?
Probably didn't breathe at all.
I've
there.
done kettlebells at least 3 times in the past month. I'm sure you can tell already. 3, 2, 1, stop!
There you go.
Come on! Come on! There we go! Okay.
Come on, Jeremy, you got this. All right.
I just want you to slam me. Just do it.
Just
Go ahead.
slam them,
See
just
what you can do.
slam
I'm not going to let you. I want you to actually. All right.
Are you okay?
You okay?
Well, I'm fine. What are you talking about?
Man, it's early in the
Good to
morning.
go.
I'm on West Coast time. Thank y'all for waking me up.
Hey, thank you, man. It's really
Thank
good to talk to
you
you. We
so
really
much.
appreciate you playing
Thank
along with
you.
Thank you
us.
so much.
You can catch Stone Cold Steve Austin when Straight Up Steve Austin premieres on August 12th, 11 p.m. Eastern on the USA Network. Hope you got your workout in there.
My
buddy.
arm hurts.